Hey everybody, what's up? So recently I was tagged by Cinema Slayer. It's part of a four-person tag, and I had to tag 4 people. Honestly, I can't really think of anyone that might film anything if I tag them because some people don't film as much, some do. It's kind of odd. I would like to see like Dick from Nothing Too Stupid, Jimmy Fungus if he did anything, Terry W, Loch Ness Bill's Prime, Asian Sleepy, and SteveTheFish.net. Kind of be like, I know 6 people. I don't like not everybody. Well, actually, and within 37 people, I know not everybody films, and so I would kind of like to see responses. It'd be kind of cool to see from those people, just like what type of movies, these genres they like. Laser pointer. I was playing with the cat earlier. So I'm not sure who to tag. Sorry, people, but you know, I know that's more than 4. But ultimately, oh, shit. I've been having tech issues also, so it's like trying to get everything done. Um, you pick Vampire Mike. Come on, give me a break here. The one person. So in regards, we'll go down the list here. Horror. The problem with me in horror is I've never really been big into horror movies. I'm not seeing that many, surprisingly. Most of what I have seen is like parodies, off-brand stuff. So it's really hard to pick for this one. If I had to say anything, and you can watch it on YouTube, is the Necronomicon, which is Lovecraft goes into this library where he's gone plenty of times, and he's heard that there's a copy of the Necronomicon in this library, and so he actually gets these reading of the tales, and it's like completely different from anything you've ever read that he wrote. It's astounding. It really is, and they're 4 great stories. Kind of creepy, highly creepy for one of them. But yeah, definitely worth checking out here on YouTube. Next is animation, and I had to think about this one for a while. Because I'm like, well, I could pick South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, because I like that. I like Akira. I've heard it pronounced different ways. Um, was one I was thinking about. But Vampire Hunter D, the 2 movies, and I'll explain why. They tie in so well together. It's just like they could have probably made it into one big movie, and the way it flows from one to the next is just amazing. The great storytelling in that. There is one thing I have found funny over the course of time about those 2 movies is that I swear whoever did the subtitles for the Japanese English version, yeah, they just decided to keep those when they did the the English voiceover, um, primarily because of the fact that it's just the same. Like what they're saying does not match up with the subtitles. You can tell, and it's hilarious. So I would definitely give it to that one. Action. I would probably go with The Running Man. I don't know how many times I've seen The Running Man. And when I read the book, and it was written by Stephen King, but this is before people knew that it was Stephen King writing it. It's so different, and it amazes me how both are. The movie is a little bit cheesy in some regards, but it's definitely filled with good action. I like the kills. It's like Mortal Kombat-ish in a way. It's like a game show Mortal Kombat. Think, what was it? I don't remember the name of the TV. Sorry, the video game. Where was it? Smash TV or something like that. It was like a game show, like you played as a character and won prizes. Definitely, that's the one that I would go with the most. Just because how many times I've watched it. Comedy. Now, normally I would pick Mel Brooks movie, any one of them, but I had to change it for this one to explain why here in a bit. Comedy, I would definitely have to go with Basketball. Anyone who knows my love of that movie, I've watched it so many freaking times. It's not even funny. I worked at a grocery store that had a video rental, and the guy who actually ran the department gave me the store poster because how many times I'd rented it. It has a little damage to it. Like there's a tear in one part, but I'm like, oh, screw it, I'll frame it. I don't care. I love that movie that much, and I've had it for like over 20 years. So definitely, yeah. Now you're gonna find out. This is why I. Okay, actually, no, hold on. I got one more here. Sci-fi. Sci-fi is the tough one for me because I've seen lots of different sci-fi movies over the course of time, and especially with a couple of the movies that I was looking into, um, like they're kind of like listed as either like drama sci-fi, comedy sci-fi. So it's really hard to pick one. That's the hard part. Um, if I had to go with one, it's hard pressed. It really is, actually, to be honest with you. Um, I would probably have to say, I know people would probably say Star Wars in that, but Johnny Mnemonic, I would go with Johnny Mnemonic in a heartbeat, mainly because of the fact that it is like the first cyberpunk movie I ever saw. I watched Johnny Mnemonic because I had read the short story. I found out the book and I saw the movie. And to me, it's an awesome, great movie for its time. The CGI, I don't know, like it's kind of like hit and miss with people, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Wouldn't go anywhere without it. Western. Now you're gonna see why I said didn't pick a Mel Brooks movie for comedy. Um, I'm not. I hate to say this, and I know somebody get mad at me here. I'm actually not a fan of Westerns. I've never been able to get into them. I don't know what it is. So, since I mentioned Mel Brooks, we're going to have to go with Blazing Saddles, which is a Western. It is done in the Western style. Um, it's not a movie that would be made today without a lot of problems. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, because of the verbiage in the movie, blah, 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 they use the N word. One thing people don't know, if you've never really paid attention to the history of the movie, and it has been cited, you can go check it out for yourself if you want. Um, yeah, they basically uh, were able to get wait. They tried to get away with a lot of that stuff. Richard Pryor, believe it or not, was one of the writers of the movie, but he could not be listed as a writer. I don't remember for what reason, but because of him, that's why they have the N word in there so much. I actually read a book about Mel Brooks called "It's Good to Be the King." It's about his life, and yeah, he mentions that he actually, if you never knew this, he was involved with the Elephant Man, the movie. He didn't want his name attached to it because he didn't think people would take it seriously because they were so used to what he's done. So yes, I will definitely go with Blazing Saddles. I don't care about the woke culture, cancel whatever culture. It's a great movie. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Tough comic book. Man, so many movies that I wanted to go over this. Scott Pilgrim. I mean, it was tied between Scott Pilgrim and is it The Watchmen? I think Scott Pilgrim is more closely related to the what the comic books were going after, whereas Watchmen, they had changes made to it, which it was good, but it really didn't follow Alan Moore's message. So that's why I couldn't go with it. And don't get me wrong, I do like Rorschach the most. I think he's a great guy in the movie, just a little misunderstood. But it's definitely what I have to go with is, that movie. Romance. Oh, man, come on. Oh, jeez. I can't think of any romance movies I've ever really watched. Um, like romantic comedies, probably what would it be? Never Been Kissed. Drew Barrymore plays this news reporter who goes into a high school. She's never been kissed. True. Name of this, which is involved in this movie. Um, it's good. I will admit to that. The other one that I heard people have liked is like 10 Things I Hate About You, which is another romantic comedy. But I that one is good as well. But I prefer Never Been Kissed more because there's a lot of good moments. Now, don't get me wrong. 10 Things I Hate About You does have a couple of great performers in there. The Safe Ferris, Monique was in there, but yeah, Never Been Kissed, I would have to say, sorry, beats that top one. And finally, we come to the end. I'm sorry, no wait, I missed one. Adventure. What to say about adventure? I'm not big on adventure movies either. I don't know. Um, like I could, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom really was the first action movie for me that I watched. Um, I would have to say I would probably go with that one more because of the fact that it's a great movie. Like the Crystal Skull one was utter tripe. It's just like so far out there. It's like they're pulling things out of the rectum at that point. Um, since I'm not a big action fan movie, I would definitely have to go with that one of all time. It is really good. I admit to that. There's Spielberg did a lot of great stuff with it, and it's really something that you have to look at. If you've never seen it, hey, go check it out. It's like one of the few movies that I like that actually get made today. Um, yeah, well, the only thing I can really think of because there's like so many tie-ins with different stuff, like what you consider to be adventure and that. And finally, we come to the end. Drama. Yes. I could pick any of the Shakespeare movies that I like. I could go with a lot of different things, but there is a movie that is dramatic, like a dramatic sci-fi comedy. How you get all three of those, I don't know. I kind of understand it, but I would definitely have to say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a brilliant movie. Um, it does ask certain questions. There is that sci-fi concept to it, but it's interesting how how this idea of what would happen if you love someone and you have them wiped from your mind, and all the things that happens during the movie as it's going on really just makes it, what it's worth it. Obviously, not probably it's one of those films that not a lot of people might have seen. I don't know how well it did at the box office. I remember seeing it when it came out in the theaters like years ago. Um, I kind of have a funny story behind it, but I would get in trouble for telling it. Uh, so I don't want to get that. Somebody might report me to YouTube, and I don't need that. So that definitely would be my top pick. So yeah, thank you, Cinema Slayer. Thank you, everybody. Any of the people that I picked, hey, if you want to make a response, please go for it. It would be appreciated. Doesn't matter. Like I said, those are the people I can think of. You picked Mike. Sorry, man. You stole my thunder. Just kidding. Just kidding. Um, I I only actually watch 3 channels that talk about movies, really. So for me to pick more, I would have to pick individual people to see what their thoughts on it are. That's it, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.